Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Tulsa. We're really glad you're here. I was reminded by Linda Bradshaw that today is Will Rogers' birthday, something to note, one of our most important Oklahomans. To get us started today, Diane Peacock will provide the invocation, Phil Armstrong will lead us in the song and pledge, and then Jerry Cornelius will introduce our visitors. And by the way, Tom, thank you for the music. We appreciate it. All right. So Diane.
Thank you, President Jeff. Let us bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you with strong and thankful hearts. We are grateful for the life that you have given to each one of us. In our lives as Rotarians, we strive for service to others before service to ourselves. We look to you for strength in this process. Let us not grow weary in this noble goal, and let us not take lightly the motto of, "He profits most who serves his fellows best," as was adopted over 100 years ago at a convention of the Rotary Clubs of America. We need your guidance. Our programs are vast in this club. We encourage aspiring young musicians. We bring water to faceless families in faraway Nicaragua. We inspire young entrepreneurs. We assist educators with needed supplies. We help needy children remember the fun of giving and receiving Christmas gifts. And we ring bells so that others might give and feel the satisfaction of assisting their fellow man. We ask for your help in sustaining these programs. Fill our hearts with joy as we see the dreams of others whom we serve come true. Let us gain satisfaction in looking into the hearts and eyes of those we serve. Help us not just to say in words, but truly embrace in our humble hearts the motto of Rotary: we profit most who serves his fellow best. Thank you for this day, and thank you for this food. To you we pray. Amen.
This morning, let's sing of our brotherhood, from sea to shining sea, America the beautiful. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have several visitors today. Ed Bentley has Yvonne Hayes. Nice to see you, Ed. Ed is our second most senior member, if you don't know that. Kathy Gurrell has her daughter, Shelley Hildebrand. Michael Turner has Robert Babcock. Ron Butler has Margaret Butler, which I find that to be kind of interesting that we introduce Margaret. He also has Dan Dorman, wherever they went. Robert Parker has his favorite wife, Carol Parker. Michael Willis has County Commissioner John Schmaligo. Bob McKenzie has Rob Walters. There's Bob. Jerry Baron-Mentos has Carrie Langgraft. We have two Rotary Act, Ken Camus and Zach Stakoff. Also, a visiting Rotarian, Chris Barton, has a guest, Kelly Jo Rickman. Okay. Let's give all of these people a hand. And from Skytook is Chris Barton, wherever you are. Hi, Chris. From Muskogee Rotary, Daryl Ward. Daryl. You know, everybody has sign-up sheets, and they, out at Southside Rotary, they do them slightly different. They have them on the tables, and then somebody at the table introduces you. And I was out there Thursday, and this individual has got the little card with my name on it, and he says, "This is Jerry. I can't remember your last name." From Southside Rotary, I'd like for you to welcome Ben, and I can't remember your last name. I told you I'd get even. And from Indonesia, she just happened to drop by for the day, Mina Lee. Nice to have you. Thanks, and come back.
Thank you, Jerry. For our phones out, take notes segment, I hope you'll mark these items on your calendar on your phones. There should be some notepads on your table if you're a note taker with a pen and paper. Next week, we'll have our Veterans Day program. We'll have an ensemble here to play all of our music. Thank you to Chuck Wilson and Phil Armstrong for more special music. That'll be great. We'll have a neat segment on the USS Oklahoma and Pearl Harbor. So please make a point to come to that and bring a guest. It would be neat to have double the size of this crowd because everybody brought a guest. Let's shoot for that. Let's make the kitchen scramble around and find some more food. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? The week after that, we're having an Oklahoma Hall of Fame segment with Becky Dixon. That should be great. She should be great at the microphone. She always is. On November 25th, we'll have our Thanksgiving program by Reverend David Wiggs from Boston Avenue Church. And then Alicia's favorite reminder, on December 16th, we'll have Taylor Hanson. And then a reminder, no cheers, please. On the 23rd and 30th of December, we will not have any meeting here due to the holidays. So make sure you know that. Actually, I understand. We have a little fun Who Was That today to show. So somebody says, who was the person that looks like Dr. Biggs? I see some similarities there. Thank you all for your suggestions on these. They're a lot of fun. It doesn't take very much time to let us know of something, and we'll go find the picture, etc. And again, I don't know who sent us that, but that's pretty good. All right, a reminder of our committee meetings today. I may or may not have this right, so I'm going to read from the screen. Above and Beyond Awards in room 234, the Club Foundation Trustees in room 232, the IBA Awards Committee will meet in the Beacon Room, and Long Range Planning will meet in room 233. So if you're on any of those committees, or if you would just like to get more involved and you're not on the committee, you're still welcome in any of those, and I encourage you to attend. All right, Alicia, who are we recognizing today as our sponsors?
We have two Rotary sponsors today, Doug Padgett with Pendergraft Systems and Joy Longmire with McGraw Realtors. I reached out to them. Doug was kind of occupied this week, and Joy was gone. She asked me to not mention what she was doing this week, but involved golf clubs. So she was out of town. But thank you very much to our sponsors. We appreciate it very much and rely heavily on it. You can see Matt Moritor for more information on sponsorship.
Thanks, Alicia. And again, a reminder for those of you who are already our sponsors or might consider it, if you will let us know your ideas for how to make the sponsorship more valuable to you and more valuable to the club, we would love to hear your ideas and to make it even better. All right, Past President Ed, if you'll make your way up, we have a Club Foundation Fellow recognition segment to do today to recognize some very generous members of our club who have made our foundation better. Ed?
Thank you, President Jeff. On behalf of the trustees of our Club Foundation and the Club Foundation Development Committee, it is my honor to present 32 more Rotarians with their Club Foundation Fellow recognition. They will each be allowed 5 minutes to speak. These Rotarians made contributions to our local Rotary Club of Tulsa Foundation that raised their level of recognition since April of 2015. The Club Foundation funds not only award grants to Tulsa area nonprofit organizations, but also our major projects such as Camp Enterprise, Partnerships in Education, water well drilling, and our newest project, the Yearling Service Project. First, would Bob Parker start making your way up to the stage, and Ed Bentley, we will come address you in just a moment. As they come forward, we have other Club Foundation donors to recognize in the meantime. Please direct your attention to the screen, I think. Our newest club fellows, if you will stand in place when I call your name: Becky Fields, Charles Hembry, Jarl Johnson, Mark Short, whoops, not yet Mark, Tom Peralt, Roberta Preston, Pam Richardson, Bill Richard, Charles Sechrist, and Tomacek, Kirk Vanderslice, and Paula Wood. These Rotarians have contributed between $500 and $2,499 to receive their fellow lapel pin. You may now be seated. Thank you. Next, we have 8 Rotarians who have contributed between $2,500 and $7,499 to reach the bronze level lapel pin. If you will stand in place when I read your name: Forrest Cameron, John Delavadova, Kirk Hayes, Ed Hicks, Bill Miller, David Momper, Sandra Mullins, and Jerry Russell. Let's give them a hand. And now I want to recognize our 6 newest Silver Fellows. If you will also stand in place. We have Mike Homan, Tim Lyons, Doug Paget, now Mark Short, John Story, and Trey Walling. They have contributed between $7,500 and $14,999 in order to reach the silver level. We have 3 new Gold Fellows who have contributed between $15,000 and $24,999. If you will stand in place, we have Tom Bloomfield, Jim Burwell, and David Downing. Thank you to all the Rotarians for your dedication and support of our Rotary Club of Foundation. And now we honor Ed Bentley and Bob Parker as our newest Pillar of the Community Fellows for donations exceeding $50,000. Jeff, if you will present. One moment, please, Ed. We got to get President Jeff to stand next to you so you get full credit. We are grateful to all of you for your dedication and faithful support of our Rotary Club of Tulsa Foundation. At a future meeting, we will be recognizing our newest Platinum and Allen Edwards Society members who have made a legacy gift to the Club Foundation. A Club Foundation legacy donor is anyone who informs the Club Foundation in writing that he or she has made a planned gift provision in his or her trust, will, or other estate plan or life insurance policy, naming the Rotary Club of Tulsa Foundation as a beneficiary. Bequest commitments of $25,000 or more qualify you for recognition in the Allen Edwards Society. More information about our club's foundation, those we serve, and ways to contribute can be found at our club's website, tulsarotary.com. In addition, you will find details of our Legacy Donor Program and the Allen Edwards Society on the website. Thank you very much, and back to you, Jeff.
Thank you, Ed. That was great. So interesting to see that list of those quiet Rotarians who are so generous to the foundation. We're very grateful, so thank you again. All right, we have a few announcements. Unfortunately, a few sad announcements. First, on behalf of the club, I want to extend our condolences to Rotarian John McGrath. His wife, Janet, passed away suddenly on October 30th. John is a fairly new Rotarian, but he's jumped in with all arms and legs and everything, and he's a great guy. A rosary is set for this Friday at 7 p.m. at Christ the King Catholic Church, and the service is Saturday at 11 a.m. at the same place, Christ the King. Cards are on your tables for extending your sympathies. We learned this week that Rotarian Joni Stevenson's mother-in-law, Hazel Stevenson, passed away last Monday, so keep that family in your prayers as well. And as some of you already know, a memorial service for past President Bob Johnson has been scheduled for Saturday, November 28th at 10 a.m. at First Christian Church. That's Saturday, November 28th at 10 a.m. at First Christian Church. Again, keep all these families in your thoughts and prayers, if you will. In honor of World Polio Day, Rotary co-hosted a major live stream event on Friday, October 23rd. You may remember I mentioned that at the last meeting. And part of that event included testimony from actress Mia Farrow, who described being diagnosed with polio at age 9. And here's another, I told you we would have a little snippet of that for you so you wouldn't have to watch the whole thing. So here's another portion of a video also narrated by Mia Farrow about the eradication of polio in Nigeria and Africa. And after that video, Bob...
A disease that respects no borders, once killing or paralyzing 500,000 people a year. After a long, hard battle, it's been eradicated in all but 3 countries, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Nigeria. And if Africa is ever to be free of this cruel, ancient disease, it must be vanquished in Nigeria. And so far, this year, there hasn't been a single case. Much of the 20th century, polio was one of the world's most feared diseases. Then, in the 1950s, vaccines began to make polio history throughout much of the developed world. But in 1988, it was still claiming victims in 125 countries, 350,000 a year, crippling child after child. Global Polio Eradication Initiative began. The World Health Organization, Rotary International, CDC, UNICEF, and other partners took aim at eliminating the disease. It became the largest collective public health effort in history. 20 million volunteers and more than 2.5 billion children immunized. The progress was swift and stunning. By the early 2000s, Africa was on the verge of eradicating polio. Then, a setback.
There was these religious clerics who tried to poison the mind of the community. So that's why generally people become scared.
There was hate messages all over the place against polio. Some people said, okay, if you allow your child to take polio vaccine, he will develop HIV.
Kano suspended polio immunization amid a swirl of rumors, and the disease hit back with a vengeance, sickening thousands of children. A huge effort went into winning back hearts and minds. Religious leaders reached out, telling people vaccination was safe, and community leaders reached out. Their efforts helped turn the tide. Immunization restarted, led by an army of women, volunteer vaccinator teams at the front lines, and Nigeria once again stood on the verge of eradicating polio. They knock on every door, vaccinate every child, marking little fingers and house walls, noting who is protected and who isn't. Often their motivations are very personal. Aisha Umar became a volunteer after her own daughter, Mariam, contracted the disease.
Dan shawarar zama BCM don in faɗakar da iyaye mata kan wannan larura. An karɓar rigakafi ko da yaushe idan an so.
There are so many challenges. Reaching every child, even in the most remote villages. Overcoming a brutal Boko Haram insurgency. and the rainy season just begun, which can fuel the spread of the disease.
Kuma wasu ƙanana suna fitowa gefe, kaga yanzu kamar nan idan aka yi bayan gida aka yi ruwa zai iya korowa yawan cututtukan nan da damuna wannan bayan gida da yake koro mana.
Isa, the last child in Nigeria to get polio, lives in a compound crisscrossed with sewage canals where 40 small children live and play. On July 24, 2015, Nigeria marked the first year in its history without a single case of wild polio. A few weeks later, Africa marked the same, with the anniversary of the last case in an isolated Horn of Africa outbreak. These are milestones, not endpoints. 2 more years must pass for Nigeria and Africa to be certified polio-free. To reach this goal, the campaign will continue, relentlessly and without pause, to immunize every single child.
You want me to follow that? There's a couple of flyers on your table. We've had them out a lot. We're trying to do something special from our district and our club, and that is to participate in the Race Across America. We will start in Oceanside, California, and we will finish in Annapolis, Maryland 6 days later. We have to spend a little money to get in. I need $35,000. I need almost 10 of that to register, and I need the other 25 to support the team. And I've had people say, well, couldn't we just spend that money on polio? And sure we can. If you want to give money to polio instead of giving to RAM, do so. That's our end goal. We just feel like that we have the opportunity to challenge the United States and the world beyond to make a huge effort to raise more than $10 million for polio this year. I've had inquiries from around the world to ride and from our district. I've had 7. I've had 3 inquiries to be part of our crew. We need 12 to 14 of crew. We need 2 minivans and 1 RV, and we got a minivan Friday from Jackie Cooper Imports, Greg Keck. I don't know if Greg is here. Of course, he won't be able to sell that car when we get through with it, but we still need a minivan. We still need an RV. You know, we have to spend a little money to make the money, so I hope you'll help us. We are reaching out to foundations, and hopefully we can find a foundation that will help us get this funded. If you can help us, we'd appreciate it. I promise we'll ride hard. We have to ride around the clock. We're going to ride in shifts. There's going to be 4 of us. We have 2 team members right now, and we'll go day and night until we get to get to Annapolis. So I hope that you will take this flyer or talk to me afterwards, and if you want to give to RAM, it's the sticker on the flyer. If you're not comfortable giving to get us in RAM, you can give to polio down below. Thank you so much. Thank you, President Jeff. There's a lot that Rotary does, and polio, in trying to eradicate polio, is only a part. But if you're having an elevator conversation or bumping into somebody in the swimming pool, this is an easy thing to talk about, and we've really tried to educate our club better so that you have that in your hip pocket and so that you're motivated to support the cause and maybe to support Bob. If you came to Rotary a little early today, you probably saw some booths out in the hallway, so thank you to Spirit Bank, who was everybody was passing out free stuff, I think. I know Rhonda was. Butler & Butler, Pankratz & Associates, and First Mate Financial. And thank you to Luann Buehlinger for the idea and for this inspiration for that as we marked Vocational Month during October and today in support of our Rotarians. If you have other ideas in the future of ways that we can recognize the businesses in our club and promote them, we'd sure encourage you to do that and speak with Luann or any other member of the board or come and see me. Thank you guys again very much for all of you who did boosts during this month. We thank you very much. Let's recognize them. Just real quick, a couple of other thanks. Thanks to Terry Heritage and her company, Interim Healthcare, for the flu shots. Last week, I didn't see anybody taking their shirt off in the hallway, but I hope there were some shots. And thanks to Linda Bradshaw, by the way, I forgot to say that, for playing the piano last week for us. We wanted to thank you for that. Yes, all of our piano players. We just love that. Okay, we have some project announcements. We have Jerry to talk a little bit about the bell ringers, and then we have Charles to talk about Shop with a Cop, and then Judge Peterson to talk about water wells.
Okay, good afternoon. Thursday, December 3rd is our bell ringing day, and I was very impressed by the response just when you all saw the board, just coming right up to the board and signing up for your slots. So we'll be out there this afternoon as well. I just wanted to tell a quick bell ringing story. I ring with my children. I do it every year, and I promise them a Rotary lunch every year. And I was outside of Petty's one year, and a person said, "We'll get you in a minute." And he went to his car, and he handed my, at that time, my now 14-year-old son, he was 7, a $50 bill. And my son looked at it, looked at me, looked at the kettle, and I know there was a big decision there, but, I can assure you it made it into the kettle. So bring a family member, bring friends, but join us on December 3rd. It's an hour, and you feel great afterwards. So I also have checked AccuWeather. It's going to be the best day in December.
Thank you, Jerry.
All right, we'll keep with the Christmas ideology here. Shop with the Cop's coming up again December 5th this year. We're going to be at Target. I looked ahead, made sure OU and OSU weren't going to play. I also looked into barring another Miracle on 11th Street. I don't think TU is going to play that day either. So anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be 8:30 to 11:30 in the morning. It's really a great situation to be able to help these kids out at Cecilia Clinton that are disadvantaged, and some of them have had situations where they've gone up and seen police officers in a frustrating situation, and this gives an opportunity to really see them in a good light. Target's been really great when it comes to their contributions and everything that they're going to be there. So you do have sign-up volunteer sheets on your table. Hopefully you sign up for that. And I was going to read real quick. This came from Crystal Sainer, a kindergarten teacher, about a student who experienced Shop with a Cop. He says, "I want to tell you what one of my students said about shopping with a cop. The only reference he had concerning police was when they came to his house and had to take his mom to jail. When he came to class the Monday after the event, he let me know his picture was on Channel 6. We pulled up the story on the web and we talked about it. He showed me where he was in the photo with the other children and the police officers. He pointed out proudly and said, 'That's my cop.' Throughout the conversation, he was so excited to say, 'This is my cop.' He has a new outlook on police now, and the experience was one he will not forget." So hopefully that encourages you to come out. It's a lot of fun. Again, it's one morning, and we'll take care of business and have a lot of fun doing it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Charles. And I hear Judge Peterson is going to continue with the Christmas theme.
You betcha. Rotarians, just to post you up, our drilling season is over for this year. The crew is now maintaining and overhauling and doing all the maintenance they need to do on the gear. We have drilled so far 433 wells.
Wow.
Many of those wells have been sponsored by you and your families and your businesses. There's a certificate that you get with a GPS location of where your well is. I've actually seen a couple of them, little white dots now from Google Earth. They're starting to appear. Or you can come with us on a trip and go see them personally. It's a great project. The certificates are for own a well, which is $1,000. I just want to tell you, in this Christmas season, it makes a great gift. Your employees don't know what to do for you. You don't know what to do for your employees. Some of you with families with older kids that don't need any more stuff. It's a great family project. Just own a well. Put that certificate in your lobby, in your shop, or on the wall in your home. A great thing to do, help other people, true Christmas spirit. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge. Come on up, Alicia.
Rotary Club of Tulsa's funniest Super Bowl commercials of all time.
It's time for Super Bowl, guys. At least Jeff's making sure we're aware Super Bowl's coming up in 4 months. Starting today, first of all, I was asked to really break this down for you guys. I'm not going to say who was having trouble understanding how the voting worked, but they were red. On your tables, there are 2 glass jars, one with a blue dot, one with a yellow dot. Except for these 4 tables over here, we ran out of jars. You have cups. Work with me. Okay, you're going to see 2 commercials today. And the winner out of the 2 commercials will be determined by how much money is in your jar or cola cup, okay? So the first commercial is from 1998. It is a Tabasco sauce commercial, back when Tabasco sauce was just a little bit too hot. Funny. That is the blue commercial. Got it? Blue commercial. Our second commercial is from 1984. I didn't even know TV was really around back then. I'm kidding. I was born in 84. We had TV. I think it was black and white, but we had TV. This is the Wendy's commercial that brings home the old adage, where's the beef?
It certainly is a big bun. It's a very big bun. Big fluffy bun. It's a very big fluffy bun. Where's the beef?
Some hamburger places give you a lot less beef on a lot of bun.
Where's the beef?
At Wendy's, we serve a hamburger we modestly call a single. And Wendy's single has more beef than the Whopper or Big Mac. At Wendy's, you get more beef and less bun.
Hey, where's the beef? I don't think there's anybody back there.
You want something better. You're Wendy's kind of people.
That is the yellow commercial. So please, as Jeff mentioned last week, the funds that are in the jars does go to, technically Sarge Fines goes to our local water well projects and local foundation. So thank you guys. Ready for this? Okay. You thought I was finished. I am not. First of all, Joe Moran. Joe, are you here? This is exciting. Joe was honored as the Distinguished Leader by Leadership Oklahoma. So Joe graciously gave $250. That's awesome, Joe. Thank you. And in addition to that, actually, Kathy Gurrell brought that to our attention. And so thank you, Kathy. And Kathy paid a fine as well for that. So thank you very, very much. Matt Newman with Covanta was just appointed to the Oklahoma Science and Technology Research and Development Board by Governor Mary Fallin. So that's awesome. And thank you very much, Matt, for your fine. Myself and Luann also wanted to help promote Matt. So thank you very, very much, guys. And last but not least, Forrest, you guys do so much for us, and we're really appreciative of all that you do, all the coverage that GTR does for Rotary. So, all yours.
It's my honor to introduce our Rotarian of the Day, Mike Homan. Mike Homan is our president nominee. He's the vice president and regional manager of Terracon. He joined Rotary in October 1991. He is a Paul Harris Fellow and a Club Foundation Fellow. Please welcome Mike Homan.
Thank you, President Jeff. Our speaker today, Fred Barnes, is a graduate of Penn State University with a Bachelor of Science degree in Business, Logistics, and Supply Chain Management. And he was a 4-year starter on Penn State's basketball team from 1988 to 1992. And finished his career 4th in scoring and the all-time assist leader, a record which stood until just last year. Fred has over 20 years of retail distribution and direct-to-consumer experience. Prior to joining Macy's, Fred was general manager with DCS Logistics and Supply Chain Management, leading multiple fulfillment centers in the North Carolina area. Fred also served as Senior Director of Fulfillment Operations for Polo Ralph Lauren for almost 15 years in the North Carolina area. Fred has served on several boards, including the Salvation Army Boys and Girls Club of High Point and the Piedmont Triad Health Services Board of Directors in North Carolina. He is also a graduate of Leadership High Point and received the prestigious Black Achievers in the Industry Award in 2003 in New York. Most recently, Fred was Operations Vice President of the Cheshire, Connecticut Fulfillment Center for Macy's Bloomingdale's. Prior to moving to Cheshire, Fred was Vice President at Macy's Stone Mountain facility outside of Atlanta. Best known for his focus on employee engagement, resiliency, team building, and inclusion, Fred has led all of his teams to improvements in service, productivity, expense, and safety. Fred has now been asked to lead Macy's Tulsa Owasso Fulfillment Center, which is the largest in their logistics network. Please join me in welcoming Fred Barnes.
Wow. I always feel some kind of way when somebody reads that stuff about me. I'm like, am I that old? 15 years at Ralph Lauren? Okay, all right. Well, first of all, I want to thank you guys for having me. It's definitely a pleasure and honor to be able to come and speak to you. The main thing that stands out about this area to me, as you heard, I was from North Carolina, but the genuine support. Oftentimes in different communities, you get support, but you can tell whether it's genuine or not. And I told these guys up here, I will tell you if it's not genuine. And since I've been here, everybody has been really, really nice to not only me, but my staff, my family, and it's helped us really get this facility off and going. So I wanted to thank not only you guys for having me speak, but the community for having us in the community. So really appreciate that. Before I get started, I had a dilemma this morning about what to wear. I'll be honest with you. I said, should I wear an orange shirt for Oklahoma State? Or should I wear, I think it's maroon for Oklahoma, OU? Or should I wear blue for Tulsa? All right. So I decided not to wear any of that, right? I wanted to stick with my roots, and I said I'm going to wear a Penn State blue with some pinstripes. So hopefully I don't upset anyone for doing that. And also the lights, if you have a glare on my head, just let me know, and I'll sort of wipe it off so I don't blind anybody. I've been known to have that happen since I've lost my hair. What I want to start off with, I'm going to start off with, let me take my watch off because I can't see that clock, but I don't want to go over. I want to start off with a video. Some of you guys may have seen the video, but it really talks a little bit about the grand opening of our facility and some of the people that were involved in it. You'll see that, and you'll see some of our associates speaking. I think it'll sort of give you a feel for, and it'll set up and really tee up what I want to talk about today, which is setting a foundation for success. I'll try not to bore you, I'll try not to be long, but I do want you to understand what we're about. It's not just about shipping boxes, it's not just about having a large facility out in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's more than that. And I want all of you to understand that when you walk out. So if you go ahead and play the video, it's about 4 minutes, then I'll come back and I'll talk about it.
So today, we're celebrating another great milestone, one that will go down in the history books of the state of Oklahoma.
This happens to be one of, if not the largest, economic development project in Northeast Oklahoma for the past 10 years.
To think about Macy's and to know that a global company has chosen Owasso and Tulsa area to employ our great Oklahoma people, to enjoy our great quality of life, and so we're very, very proud of that.
The ability to have good, hardworking individuals in this plant day in and day out was one of the biggest factors they weighed in making the decision to come here to Owasso.
This community was so warm and welcoming. The business community came together with the government community, with community leaders, the Cherokee Nation, you name it. They all worked very collaboratively together to make us feel so welcome here.
Anytime we can partner together with a quality partner to create long-term quality jobs with benefits, we're doing a service to the Cherokee people.
And then we found by our research that we could hire some outstanding people from this marketplace. Put all that together, and it was an easier decision than it sometimes is to build a very big and very expensive and very significant fulfillment center such as this one. And so we're really, really happy that we chose Tulsa as the place for the largest fulfillment center in America for Macy's and one of the largest fulfillment centers, frankly, in the world.
We have been able to encompass all of our learnings from the past and actually apply them to this facility to be able to really make magic for the customer.
Well, one of the things that I'm proud of is that we have a very diverse workforce. We've been able to partner with a lot of the local agencies to build this team. We feel like, it's not about the building, but it's really about the people that we've hired that will set the culture for this team to be very successful in the future.
The communities of Owasso and Tulsa have been very welcoming since we've come here, and we've been able to see that in the caliber of associates we've hired, in the training programs that the communities have developed with us, and in the hiring programs that they've helped us develop. It's been a wonderful partnership.
The Cherokee Nation really did a tremendous job in helping us in sourcing and recruiting for our positions here. They really had a true understanding of what our culture is here at Macy's.
It feels amazing to be part of the Macy's and Bloomingdale's family.
Family is a perfect word because the people here become family.
It is a very close-knit environment and I feel very welcomed, right? So it takes a while sometimes when you go to a new company to get used to walking in the front door. That was no time here. I mean, it felt right at home, people made you feel welcome.
Like home, it's been a while, jumping around from job to job, but I think I found a place I could grow.
So far my experience has been really wonderful. It's been helped me learn and succeed and grow to hopefully be more successful here.
My manager is a great manager. He encourages us every day to, strive for whatever it is that we want to be in this company.
Never been a part of a team like this. The culture in this building on the senior leadership level is outstanding.
The environment here for us on any given day, from management clear up to the VP, is one by living by the core values that Macy's. Teams win, you count, give back, the customer first. It's all part of our daily life here.
I am the magic of Macy's.
I am the magic of Macy's.
I am the magic of Macy's.
We are Team Tulsa.
We are Team Tulsa.
We are Team Tulsa.
So hopefully you got a feel for the inside of the building. But like I said in the video, it's really not about the building. I'm going to go through and give you some stats because I know a lot of people like to hear these stats. So I said I'm going to do it, so I'll go ahead and do it. So the footprint of the building is about 1.3 million square feet. So that's about 14 football fields. If you look at the inside of the building, it has 3 levels, and you add all that together, it's about 2.2 million square feet of space that we operate in. So it's a fairly large building. 14 miles of conveyors and monorails and sortation systems that go throughout the building, moving packages. Our capacity to do in that building is we can hold about 14 million units, just under $500 million in retail. We will employ about 2,800 people this year. I was just telling Mike, we are already upwards of 2,200 right now, and we still have a few weeks to go before Black Friday. What else? we have an area we call our prep area, and this is where we prepare our merchandise. So we get product in from Ralph Lauren, from Van Heusen, from different companies, and they may have a small, medium, large, all in one box. And before we can send it out to you guys, we have to break that out. We call it prepping it, and we prep it into its own individual single UPC so we can actually pick it and ship it out. And that area is about 3.5 football field. So that's probably the largest area, has about 100 people that work in it. So as you can imagine, when you're dealing with that many people, that many personalities, that many different views on how things should be done, it can be a challenge for my management team, but we're up to the challenge. So that's all of the information I wanted to share about the facility. I invite you guys to try to call and set some time up. I will be happy to walk you through and give you tours after the holiday season. So, you know, call and set that up. I'll be more than happy to do that. It's right off 76th Street. You can't miss it. It's a huge building, but you'll get a feel for what we do every day and then how, when you click your phone or your iPad or your computer and place that order, what really happens behind the scenes to get that product to you within 2 days. All right? So that's the building. What I want to talk about, though, today is setting the foundation. And I'll be brief. I'm going to talk about our core values because it's so important to me. It was what I looked at when we started to put together the leadership team. Before that building was built, we worked out, about 3 of us worked out of Tulsa Tech. They were gracious enough to give us some space up there. And we hired the entire management team, we hired the entire supervisor team out of that facility before we even went into the facility down on 76th Street. What we look for is what I call GRITSY. And I always come up with acronyms because I don't remember things as well as I used to, but the acronyms help me remember things. So you heard in the video, give back. That is one of our core values that we don't take lightly. Okay, we have opportunities for all of our associates, all of our managers to get involved in things. I'm proud to say that this year alone, our first year, we raised over $30,000 for United Way for the local community, so we were very proud of that. We spent some time, I see Marlene out there, we did some partnership with Tulsa Shock while they were here. I had the opportunity to have our management team do some reading and some book donations for Barnes Elementary School off of 76th Street, so we still partner with them. And then several of our leaders are involved now in Women Leadership Council. So they when I think it was a couple weeks ago, about 4 or 5 of them are starting to get involved in that. So there's a lot of things that we want to get involved in the community because it's so important to us. So we're not just dropping a building here and shipping boxes out of it. We want to hire people from the community. We want to represent Macy's within the community, and that's what we will do. The next one is results matter. You know, we are a for-profit company, so we do want to be in the community and doing things, but we also want to make money. We want to do it the right way. And when I say that, it's really about, for me, making sure that the customers that we serve get that product when they want it, how they want it, and packaged nicely. Before building this building here in the central United States, this area was served from either Goodyear, Arizona, or Portland, Tennessee. So it took quite a while for product to get here, whereas right now we can service Oklahoma, Kansas, Texas. Somebody told me not to say Texas and Oklahoma, so I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm learning. But all of the central surrounding states, we can service within 24 to 48 hours. So I invite you all to go on, order something, and it'll ship within 24 to 48 hours. So I talked about give back results, but it's not just about results. It's about how we achieve those results. And the I stands for integrity always. We will never, ever, 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 ever ask our associates, or I would never ask our management team to do anything that compromises our integrity. If I miss every metric and Macy's decide that they no longer need my service, that's fine. But we will not compromise our integrity. I won't compromise my integrity. And that's one of the reasons why I'm with Macy's, because the core values that they have line up with my own personal core values. And we try to hire people that follow suit. The next one is teams win. I am a big sports person. My team, they probably get so tired of me using sports analogies, but you know what, I still do it because I think they're relevant. I think they're transferable from whether it's the gridiron or the court to the or the links to the office area in the business. But what I look for when we start building a team is not necessarily people that have a lot of experience in in retail or a lot of experience in transportation. It's actually the person. It's the leadership, right? I tell my team, when you go out, look for that person that is the Sunday school teacher, the Boy Scout leader, people that have those leadership skills that they can pull people together, galvanize them against a single vision and work on that vision together. At Macy's, we talk a lot about diversity. I always talk about it in different forms than other people. I don't necessarily talk about our differences. I talk about diversity in relation to our similarities. We're all very different. And diversity is not just, about gender or race or anything. It's about diversity of thought. It's about diversity of where people come from, their experiences, their corporations. We've hired people from the oil industry, obviously, here. We've hired people from Walmart. We've hired people from Amazon. We've hired people from, the library and just different places like that, because we want to build a team of people that are not groupthink. That is my main purpose. I tell everybody, I have done it before in my past. I don't get up every morning and run to work and say, man, I can't wait to ship that next box out. That's not really what drives me. It's about pulling the team together, galvanizing them against a common vision, and going out and beating the other people. I'm not going to call the company's names out because it's in my rules. I can't do that. But if you can't find what you need when you do shop for a cop at that other place, you can always come to Macy's, and we'll probably have what you need. All right? I think I stayed in line by doing that. I didn't mention any names. But the next thing is, after you talk about give back, you talk about results matter, integrity always, and then the teams win. We're not where we are without the customer, so we say customer first. So all of our decisions, and there's some tough decisions that we have to make that may not be the best financially for the customer, it may not be the best financially for you personally to have to work on Thanksgiving, but it's really about the customer first and making sure that we're competitive against the other companies that are out there that are shipping to the same products you can get from Macy's, you can get from other places, but we have to have a competitive advantage. So we have to take care of our customers. So we preach that from day one for all of our associates. So not just the management level. When they come in for orientation, we give them a history of Macy's and who are H. Macy's, who he was, why he started the business, what the star stand for. How many people have seen Titanic? And you remember the scene where, I can't remember the guy's name, the gentleman was about to get on the boat, but his wife was about to get on the boat, but he couldn't get on the boat, so he stayed, and they stayed on the boat, and they curled up together and went down with the ship. Well, at that time, that scene right there was the person that was actually leading the Macy's organization at that time. Did anybody know that? You guys didn't know that? All right, I got one. Yeah, so look it up. Look it up. It'll talk a little bit about that. But during the time they were on vacation, they were coming back. He was not able to get on the boat, so she stayed with him. So that was that. That's my trivia for you guys. You can use at your next cocktail party. And the last thing that, to me, I put it last because it's part of my acronym, GRITSY, is the Y in it. But it's really the most important thing to me. And if you heard me in the video, it is not about the building. It is not about 2 million square feet. It's not about 14 miles of conveyor. You take the people out of it, let me see how many boxes you ship out of that, right? It's really about the people. And you count is what we preach every single day to our team. And I tell people, you're not going to always agree with what I say. You're not. I'm not naive enough to believe that that's going to happen. But what I will promise everybody that walks in that building that signs up to work for Macy's I will take the time to explain my thought process as to why I made that decision. I feel like I owe them that. You may not like it, but I'll take the time to explain why. There may be some things that I know that you don't know further down the line. There may be some things that I can share, maybe some things I can't share, but I do take the time to meet with all of our associates. Every month, I pull 25 off the floor to come in and I talk with them. Every month, we have what we call a rally, which we have one tonight for the night shift at 7:15, where there's probably 300 people that I'll stand in front of. I'll change, I won't wear this. But I'll stand in front of, I'll walk through, and I'll engage them. So I feel like people, if they know more about their company, more about, I'm just not a packer, there's somebody at the end of that. Somebody's birthday, there's somebody's bar mitzvah, there's somebody's wedding anniversary that's counting on you to pack that and get it to you. If people can think about that while they're working, I think it makes for a greater experience for you guys who are our customers So this is something that we take very seriously. You know, all of these core values I chose to talk about today are the things that are non-negotiable. That's what I tell them. There are things that I'll have you in my office and we can debate on and talk about. You want to move a pack station over here, or you want me to spend money to do this for an iPad for the managers. We'll talk about those all day. But these things right here, our core values, are non-negotiable. Anything that breaches those, I have very little tolerance for. And I set the tone. I'm a very nice guy, but I'm very serious. I take my job serious. You know, the investment that Macy's has made in this facility, $170 million investment, the largest facility that they have in their network. So we tell people that so they listen to that so they don't take it for granted that, you know, we have a job to do. The investment was made so we can service our customers, and so far we have been able to do that. We have ranked first in a lot of our metrics coming out of our Go Live, and the days that I have bad days, I'm very quick to email my boss and say, hey, we're going to get it fixed. Don't worry about it. And he'll email me back and say, you know what, I'm not even worried about it. I wasn't even going to say anything about it if you didn't say anything, because I got confidence in your team. And, you know, that's a testament, not to me, because I can't pick. I can't even drive the equipment that they drive. But my job is to remove obstacles for those people that are actually out there doing that work. And that's what my team looks for. We're servant leaders. And, you know, we'll go out, we'll eat in the cafeteria, we'll do whatever we need to make sure that their job is easier, because it makes our job easier. So that's our philosophy. And then to wrap up, I wanted to do something. I always do something quirky. So Marlene and John, when you see people that you know that work at the facility, you can tell them that I held true to what I always do. All right? So you guys will bear with me for like 10 seconds. Can you hold your right index finger up in there, everybody? Right index finger up in there. All right, let's see if you guys can listen and pay attention and look at me. All right, put your right index finger on top of your head. Okay, this is a pretty good group, man. All right, put your right index finger on your chin. All right. Put your right index finger on your cheek. All right. Put your right index finger on your nose. How many people got their finger on their mouth that will care to tell us? My whole point is, guys, as I leave you, I do that to my management team. We can talk about core values and talk about we want to be this, talk about that. People watch what you do more often than they listen to what you say. So I challenge you guys to go out and be the leaders that you are, continue to do the things that you do, but really be aware of your actions, because people watch us as leaders in the community. They watch. So they hear what you say, but they watch more than they hear, right? So thank you for having me. I hope that made sense. I hope I didn't bore you to death, but again, thank you for having me.
Thank you, Fred. I'm really glad that you brought up that tour. Could you handle 220 Rotarians in one day? You never know. We may take you up on that. A book recognizing today's program will be donated to our partner in education school, Celia Clinton. Fred was nice enough to sign a note. The name of the book is Total Tractors. Be sure to thank the volunteers who helped make the program possible today as you leave. And now I hope I don't confuse you too much by showing you even another commercial. This is not one to vote on. This is not changing the voting. It's just a little more fun as our build up to Super Bowl Monday. So if you have ideas for commercials you want us to show, feel free to do it, and we'll be adjourned after this commercial.
Emma. Huh? Emma.
Not anymore.
Emma.
Every day it's getting on my nerves.
Emma.
Oh, I'm
Emma.
begging you.
Emma.
Oh, you
We're adjourned.